country talking to the radio announcers, the church people and the street people, telling them that God has smiled on me. God has smiled on you if you got breath in your body, if He woke you up this morning and started you on your way. And I want to tell you some stories of people that God smiled on. We know the story of Dr. Martin Luther King, how he started way back in Montgomery, Alabama in 1955, trying just to get dignity, trying to get respect. And he went all the way to the mountaintop. But he didn't forget about the brothers in the valley. He didn't forget about those trapped in the alley. And I hear Brother Martin King saying, God has smiled on me. He's been good to me. Let me tell you, God has smiled on me. He's been so good to me. Then I see as Dr. King went on, another man stepping to the forefront by the name of John F. Kennedy, who rose up and said, let's not stand back. Let's not wait for a handout. Let's wait for a way out. He said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. He said, don't us gravel and don't us moan, because God done smile on us. Let me say it. God has smiled on me. He has set me free. Let me say it. God has smiled on me. One more time. I want to say it real slow. I'll say God has smiled on me. He has set me free. Pick it up. God has smiled on me. I feel it. Then I went on by backstage at the Apollo Theater and I saw a man come out. They call him the King of Soul, James Brown. And James Brown said, Reverend, don't you worry. I started out as a shoe shine boy. I started out as a convict. I started out uneducated. But I learned to sing my song. And I sung it all over the world. I told him it was a man's world. I told him about the big payback. I told him Papa got a brand new bag. And all over the world, they can hear my voice. But Reverend, don't you frown. Don't you bow your head. Tell him what you told me, Brother Brown. I said, now God has smiled on me. He has set me free. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I want to scream, y'all. I want to scream, y'all. God has smiled on me. He has set me free. God has smiled on me. He has set me free. God has smiled on me. He's been good to me. Let me tell you, God has smiled on me. He has set me free. God has smiled on me. He's so good to me. Let me tell you, God has everybody. Sometimes He has set me free. I feel so good. God has smiled on me. Oh yeah. Good to me. One more time. God has smiled on me. Every day of my life, I feel it. He gives me strength and energy. Help me to sing. He's been good to me. Oh yeah. This is Reverend Al Sharpton of Brooklyn, New York. I've been traveling around the country talking to the radio announcers, the church people and the street people, telling them that God has smiled on me. God has smiled on you if you got breath in your body, if He woke you up this morning and started you on your way. But I want to tell you some stories of people that God smiled on. We know the story of Dr. Martin Luther King, how he started way back in Montgomery, Alabama in 1955, trying just to get dignity, trying to get respect.
Do you know what time it is? It's Al Sharpton's time. And for the next 3 hours, it's time to put aside all pretenses, deception, denial, or fronting. The time has come to keep it real on Keeping It Real with Reverend Al Sharpton. A very good afternoon to you all across the country. And good morning to our West Coast listeners. Welcome to those listening on Sirius XM. Channel 126, The Urban View, where talk empowers and becomes action. I'm coming to you live from our National Action Network corporate headquarters in New York. For the next 3 hours, you can join the conversation. All you have to do is call me at 1-877-532-5797, 1-877-532-5797, or you can go on live stream at www.nationalactionnetwork.net, www.nationalactionnetwork.net, and you can put a message on the message board, and I'll try to read as many of them as I can. And I want to congratulate Mayor Roz Baraka, Mayor of Newark, New Jersey, and Reverend Steffi Bartley, who is the Northeast Regional Director of National Action Network and pastors New Hope Baptist Church in Elizabeth, New Jersey, and Blueprint Company. They just, we did turkey giveaways. Several hundred people lined up in front of the Donald Payne police station, and we handed out turkeys, and I just got back here to corporate. And tonight, I will be handing out turkeys this evening at 5 p.m. Eastern Time in Harlem at the House of Justice. So, and you know, when you look at where people are, and how they are lined up, how they look, you could tell people need, whatever it is you can do for them. That the need is there, and the I think we need to make sure we try to meet the need. Not only, and I'm looking at you on the message boards, not only do we need to meet them by giving a turkey away today and a hot meal on Thursday, but by social policy, by making sure that you provide jobs and training, and for those that need it, nutritional assistance, like SNAP supplement, nutritional assistance programs. Because as I looked in the faces of people handing out turkeys, and I'll be doing hundreds more this evening in Harlem, and then the hot meals we're going to have together on Thanksgiving Day, I'll tell a lot of my friends that we sat around for the last many years talking about what the Pilgrims and others did to the Native Americans, and we're right. But the people out there that don't have a meal don't want to hear your analysis. They want help. And if you help them and feel for them, they'll hear your analysis. All right, some of you already on the message board. Janet Overall is saying, Rev, I called 2 Congress reps regarding FBI protection of the director's girlfriend. I'll inform you of their response. Isn't that something? They were going to have the SWAT team and the FBI give protection to the girlfriend of the FBI director. Girlfriend. I mean, every time you hear something, you hear something else. You think you heard it all, I think is the expression. Every time you Every time you think you heard it all, you hear something else. Kenny Antoine says, hello from Canada. I'm glad you tuned in from Canada. Well, a lot to talk about. Let's get into the issues. Talking about the more you think you heard it all, they come with some more. The Pentagon says that it is investigating Senator Mark Kelly over a video urging troops to defy illegal orders. I'm not making this up. Let me read this. I'm not making this up. The Pentagon announced Monday it is investigating Democratic U.S. Senator Mark Kelly of Arizona over possible breaches of military law after the former Navy pilot joined a handful of other lawmakers in a video that called for troops to defy illegal orders. Pentagon statement posted on social media cited a federal law that allows retired service members to be recalled to active duty on orders of the Defense Secretary for possible court-martial or other measures. It is extraordinary for the Pentagon, which until President Donald Trump's second term had usually gone out of its way to act and appear apolitical. Now, that's the headline. The fact is that it is in the laws, makeup, rules of men in service and women in service that they should not obey illegal orders. So are you now saying outright that we're in an autocracy and the law that determines what's illegal or legal is Trump? They did a video. Mark Kelly, who was in the armed services and served as a Navy pilot, awarded, and others, every one of the senators that are in the video, were there as veterans, people that had served the country in the military. And they're saying by law, no one can tell you or order you, or you must follow illegal orders. And they're acting like that does not follow under the law that we should have. And clearly, the inference is that Trump is the law. I mean, this is outrageous. They're talking about calling back a person that was decorated for his service in the military. Went on from there to become the United States Senator. They're going to call him back into service so they can court-martial him for doing a video telling members of the military don't follow illegal orders. I mean, you can't make this up. Then we also have Trump is now postponing his framework to fix the Affordable Care Act, better known as Obamacare. He was supposed to be coming out with his announcement, I believe, on yesterday, on how he was going to save us from Affordable Care Act. Well, he put it on delay. And now what we've heard is the proposal would come at a time that's kind of tricky for the Republicans because it would cost spikes to nearly 22 million Americans. Their premiums will go through the roof at a time they're getting ready for the midterm elections next year. So a lot of this is politics that they do not want to change, let the Affordable Care Act expire, and those premiums go up, and then you got to vote. I think it's very interesting. Let me also say that I want to say that we heard that Viola Ford Fletcher's on my Instagram passed away, 111 years old. She was the older survivor of the Tulsa massacre, and she lived 111 years. We had her at the House of Justice. I put it on my Instagram. I was so proud that she and one of the other survivors had come to the House of Justice. We honored them, and she passed away on yesterday, and certainly be remembering her, as all of us should. A great, heroic, and historic woman. Let's take a break and let's start lining up our calls. You can talk about whatever's on your mind and whatever's in your heart today, whether you want to deal with this court-martialing of Mark Kelly attempted, whether you want to deal with the Trump say he's going to fix health care, now he's not, whether you want to deal with how the judges now dismissed indictments on the former FBI Director Comey and on New York State Attorney General Tish James. Whatever's on your mind, whatever's in your heart, 1-877-532-5797, 1-877-532-5797, or go on National Action Network and hit our live stream and give me a written message on the message board. We'll be right back. Sharpton, keeping it real. Be right back.
1, 2, 3, I got the feeling. Hey, baby, baby, I got the feeling. How I got that feeling, yeah. Hey, hey, got that feeling, y'all. Come on. Feeling, baby. Oh, I got the feeling, y'all. Can you put your hands together? I got the feeling. Oh, won't you say, baby, baby, I got that. Ah! Baby, oh, feeling, baby. Oh, hey, hey, baby, 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 baby. Come on, sing it out, baby, baby. Come on. Can't hear you. Hey, hey. I got that. Thank you so much. My name is True Osborne. Humbled and honored.
All right.
So good. That was beautiful. Thank you, everyone. I am humbled and grateful to be here with you tonight. I love you too. I love you too. It seems like I've known Reverend Al Sharpton all my life. My mom was such a fan of his, and And I've seen him through my life in LA at MCA Records. When I was there, he'd come through, you know, and get those people straight about our contracts and talk about that. And I haven't been honored a lot. Maybe this is my second time, and I'm 68 years old. And I've been in this business my entire life. I've never done what you would call a real job. But I am truly honored, and I'm thankful, and I love us. I love my black people. And I fight for us, and I want the women, the black women, to really know their worth. Know that they're queens. That's important to me. That's how my mother raised me. My mother was militant, I guess, when it wasn't trendy, yes. Because when I was a little girl, my mother and father would drive in Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, do or die. And when she would see police officers handling black children or a black boy or a girl, she would have my father stop and say, she'd get out of the car and she'd say, "What's going on here? Wait a minute, what you doing?" All the time. So it's natural that I'm that way, because I'm so tired of seeing our black men beaten with handcuffs. They have handcuffs on. That's important to me. That's my fight. I want love in this world. We're living in some, I love you, I love you. I never knew love like this before. I can't sing because we just finished doing 3 shows back to back. And I flew in this morning, and because Reverend Al wanted me to sing home. There's no way I could sing home, but okay. When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. I wish I was home. I wish I was back there with the things I've been knowing. When that makes us a tall grass bend into leaning, suddenly the raindrops that fall have a meaning. Sprinkling the sea makes it all clean. But thank you. Thank you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I love you. I love you with my life.
Stephanie Mills. Some of you forget where you come from and forget how you got there and act like you got there because you were qualified or that you had a good resume. But some of us had to pay a price for your resume to even be read. Some of us had to take nights in jails and licks upside the head or shut out of boardrooms like Byron so you could walk down red carpets and act like you got there by yourself. So I received this award with a special, special place in my heart and on my shelf because I'm getting it from a freedom fighter who never forgot where he came from and how he got there. Yes, we've come a long way. We've had now a black president and now a black vice president. But we still can get shot down and have to march to get a case in court. We still can get shut out of boardrooms. We're still doubly unemployed in a good economy. So we're going to have to keep marching. And I thank not only my family, a mother that raised me by herself,
But I thank that lady at the end of the march that knows she won't be on TV that night and knows her name will never be in the paper, but she believed in me enough to get at the end of the line and make me look good. Because Dr. King used to say, if you call a march and no one shows up, you just going for a walk. And I want to thank those that marched with me. 32 years ago, here in Los Angeles, we marched. And then many years later, with George Floyd and others, we're still marching. And I'm going to keep marching. I'm going to keep agitating. And I'm going to keep going. Until we don't have to do it anymore. Eddie, known you a long time, Mariah, Chris, and your kids. And I promise you this, the only thing that I really live for is I get up with this dream that every bigot, every racist, everyone in this country that hates will say, damn, he's up again.
Your host, Reverend Al Sharpton, and so much to talk about. I'm going to everybody I can. On the message board, Georgia Daniel is saying, good afternoon, Reverend Sharpton. It's a great day to thank the Lord, keeping it real in Toledo, Ohio, and thank you for that from Toledo. And you're right, it is a great day. Every day is as great as you try to make it. And let me say by way of announcements before going to the phones, don't forget, every Saturday and Sunday, including this one coming, watch Politics Nation with Al Sharpton live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on MS Now, formerly known as MSNBC. We had a great weekend last weekend. I got the ratings in, and we were ahead of everybody. Beat CNN again. You are supporting the show, which keeps the show viable. And I try to put on people that matter, members of the Congress, the Senate, those that are heading up the legal defense of our community or perpetrating the legal cases. I don't put up just friends of mine that pontificate on how smart they are. I put on people that are in the mix, and I ask them questions. I don't shy away from saying, well, how's that going to help black folks? How's that going to deal with our disproportionate pain? But support it. We have very few black hosts left on national television. Support it every Saturday and Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern. This is a holiday weekend for many of you. Tell your family, let's watch Politics Nation Saturday and Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Then you that are in the New York area, you that may be visiting for the holidays, come to the Saturday Action Rally. I'll be there. I don't go away for a holiday. I'm right there at the House of Justice, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the House of Justice, 145th and Lenox, and I'm looking for you to come. And I'm going to talk about Saturday. Now that Thanksgiving is over, now what? How should we be winding down to the end of this year? I'm going to really, really get into where we are and where we need to go. Make sure you're in the house Saturday, 9 to 11 at the House of Justice in Harlem, 145th and Lenox. And, of course, you that are not in the New York area can watch it live on Impact Television. On Impact Television is the only black-owned national network, gospel network. And you can also watch it at nationalactionnetwork.net. Then go to live stream and you will see it there. Let me also say, you that need we gave away turkeys this morning in Newark. I'll be at 5 p.m. giving away more at the Harlem National Action Network headquarters, House of Justice, 145th, and Lenox will be there 5 p.m. And then on day after tomorrow, on Thanksgiving Day, the actual day, we spend the day serving hot meals and having them with you at the House of Justice, starting at 11 a.m. sharp, and we're ready to eat and feed thousands. And we do every year. National Action Network will be 35 years next year, and we really, really want you to be there that don't have, it's not everybody that's just homeless, and certainly we welcome and have a homeless with us, but we also have seniors that just don't have family here, or people that just down on their luck and need a meal. Come eat with me. Mayor-elect Zoran Mandani has said he'll be there serving and eating with us on Thanksgiving Day. Spike Lee is coming this Thanksgiving Day. And State Attorney General Tish James says she's coming Thanksgiving Day to be at the House of Justice. So be there 11 o'clock on this day after tomorrow on Thanksgiving Day. And, of course, I want all of you, wherever you are, to have the right conversation on Thanksgiving Day. Bring your family and friends back as diplomatically, subtle. Don't get nobody crazy. But say, what do y'all think about so-and-so? You know how to ease in a conversation. And I see... is that Izzy Martin? I'm trying to see. Okay, Izzy Martin 9930, 3 days till Aftershock. And what he's talking about, Aftershock, is a movie coming out. It's premiering tonight, but it's going online. I think it's on. Somebody let me know which platform it's on. It's the story of Sean Bell and Nicole Bell. Young man had a girlfriend. She had 2 children for him. They were getting married the night before the wedding. He had a bachelor's party with his father, riding home with 2 friends. Police pull him over. Suspect they had guns. They had nothing in the car. Shot at him 52 times and killed him on his wedding night. 2 others survived, and we fought that case. And the story of how Nicole had to struggle with her fiance being killed and struggle with trying to get justice. She got us involved. Richard Lawson, the actor, he was formerly Beyonce's father-in-law. He plays me, Al Sharpton, in the movie. And it'll be on 3 days. So if somebody can give me the platform, I know that it's 3 days away. You should watch it. Called Aftershock. Aftershock. All right, we're going to take a break, and I'm going to the phones. 1-877-532-5797. Sharpton, keeping it real. Be right back.
No justice! No justice! 62 years ago today, Martin marched in Washington. 62 years later, the dream is not dead.
I'm here because I must be here. Democracy is not there for the pig, and you have to fight for democracy. That's what it is. What Trump will erase, we will replace.
Is the dreamers in many cases have reversed and tried to turn it into a nightmare. We come to Wall Street rather than Washington this year to let them know you can try to turn back the clock, but you can't turn back time. We gonna keep the dream alive on Wall Street.
It's been a long time coming, but I'm
1968, Dr. Martin King was killed in Memphis, Tennessee. And it has been the commitment of National Action Network to always, in the month he was killed, to let them know they killed the dreamer.
I have a dream today.
The Hello, New Orleans. Let me tell you straight. They did not think we could come and be here tonight. They cut budgets and advertising, but one black man, Rich New Dennis, said, I don't care. My families come together every 4th of July weekend, and Essence will happen, because that's who we are. Give a big hand to Rich New Dennis for bringing us back. Why do we come? Because the essence of who we are is essential to what made this nation. We built this nation. We made this nation. We created the essential dollars that this nation lives off of. We don't care what bill they pass. We will not back up. We will not back down. We will not give in. We will not be chased out. We don't care who's in the White House. We will organize our house by house. We came over the Middle Passage. We survived slavery. We survived Jim Crow. Don't you give up now. Don't you turn back now. Stand up, black man. Stand up, black woman. Reclaim your dignity. Reclaim your place. So we stand with the Global Black Economic Forum. We stand with Essence Magazine because that's who we are. So don't give in now. Yes, there's some rough days, but we've been through rougher days than this. Yes, Trump is a bad dude, but we beat badder dudes than Trump. So let's party with a purpose, because our rhythm and our music reminds us who we are, because we can smile through our pain and organize for our gain. Let's stand up and let's celebrate who we are. Thank you, God bless you.
Every step I take, you will be there. Every step I make, be together. Every step I take, you will be there. Every step I make, be together. Every step I take.
Thank you so much. I was thinking I was going to prepare a speech, but I can't read those things anymore. Name's Babyface, not Baby Body. But I wanted to. I mean, you made me sound so good with those words. I was like, that was me. I was like, when I look at my life and I think of the music and everything that I've done, I used to say that I don't know where it came from. I don't know where the words come from. I don't know where the music comes from. I don't know how I got here where I am, but that's not true. God got me here. This is and it becomes more clear to me every day that why I'm here. And I don't even know how I ended up standing here, except for the fact that I ran into Al at the Essence. He was walking in the room, and I said, I got to go say hello. And he said, I want to honor you. And I was like, really?
Real, keeping it real. I am your host, Reverend Al Sharpton, and we're back. 1-877-532-5797. Or go to our message board at nationalactionnetwork.net live stream. Kennedy Marie Shabazz is saying, good afternoon, Reverend Sharpton. You appreciate it, and I thank you for your support and service to everyone. God bless you, and I love you. Well, I love you back. I appreciate you taking time to say that to me. We get enough criticism from the right wing. I appreciate it when people say something kind. I'm looking at Rodney Jones, the mayor Rodney Jones is saying, Rev, I was trying to reach out to tenants of the Mitchell houses in the Bronx who have no heat or gas. Those residents need to come to NAN this Thursday for a meal and show we care about them. Yes, get up there, tell them, please come. They have no heat or gas, they can't cook. They can get a hot meal and have it with me and Spike Lee and the mayor-elect, 11 o'clock this Thursday. Yeah, and everybody that needs to, everybody that is in need is not irresponsible. You know, I tell people all the time, I grew up after my father left when I was 10. We were on welfare till I was about 15. My mother wasn't irresponsible. There was no opportunities, and we were abandoned. And she scrubbed floors while she was on welfare. I look at these penthouse buildings now when I come to work, go home to the work office or whatever, and think about my mother used to scrub floors in some of these buildings. So I'm not ever going to forget what it is to be needy and not have opportunity out there. That's why I don't care what position I get, show on television, show on radio and all that, invited to the White House, I'm in there fighting for guys and ladies like me. We have too many people sitting up in these halls of power that have never gone through nothing. But I know what it is to take a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to school and the kids laugh at you. Or a banana sandwich. My mother used to slice a banana and put a little mayonnaise and sugar on it. That was my lunch. So I didn't study sociology. I am sociology. And that's why I'm going to work and do what I can to change the social order. Let's go to Cooper from Jersey on the phones. Cooper, you're keeping it real with Al Sharpton.
Hey, Reverend Al, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I just want to say kudos to your ratings on Politics Nation, and also a big thank you to National Action Network. As you know, this Thanksgiving this is going to be the most expensive Thanksgiving under the Trump administration that Americans have seen, and I think they said in history. So for you to be doing your turkey drives and helping people, the less fortunate, out, a big thank you to yourself and the organization.
Thank you.
Now, I'm calling because I was just thinking how low the bar has gone. You remember Republicans had a fit when Obama wore the tan suit. And then on the other hand, you got Trump doing unconstitutional things on a daily basis, blowing up ships, going after, weaponizing the DOJ. And I'm so glad Letitia, the Attorney General, and
Letitia
Comey,
James.
Letitia James and Comey, the charges was dismissed. And as Comey stated, the DOJ under Trump is heartbreaking. It is. So that's what I'm calling. I'm sure you've been hearing about this.
You know, Cooper, you raised two very significant points. I'm glad you raised. One is that we are dealing with inflation, some of which is caused by Trump's tariffs, some by his other economic policies. And if there ever was a time for us to be giving out meals, having meals together and all that, it's a time, but also to change policy. But you also raised a significant point, is that the bar is so low now. The way you phrased it was very, very, very important, because if Barack Obama had tried to do any of this that Trump is doing, punish his enemies, going golfing while people are in a government shutdown, flying around the world while people were not getting their paycheck from the federal government, and then building a $300 million ballroom while you're canceling the SNAP program. If Barack Obama had done any of that, they'd have dragged him out of the White House. You're absolutely right. I mean, it's ridiculous. And the thing that disturbs me more than anything, and I'm glad you touched on it, Cooper, is we are normalizing this. We acting like this is normal. This is crazy.
Yes. Yes, Reverend. Now, it is crazy. I'm like, and people think this, I'm like, this is normal? No, we can't. We got to stand up and continue to speak out against it. And our forces in Congress and the Senate, our Democrats, got to stand up, and they trying against this madness. It's complete madness right now in this administration.
Yeah. Well said. Thank you for your call. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Let's go to North Carolina to Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn, you're keeping it real with Al Sharpton.
Good afternoon, Reverend Al Sharpton and the National Action Network. My name is Gwendolyn White, Raleigh, North Carolina. Me and my 90-year-old mom ran into a Grand Wizard, Ku Klux Klan in Roseville, North Carolina. And I have been in Wake County Court now 7 times. They killed my mom this year. They poured acid on a 90-year-old female. I can't understand one thing. Why are civil rights attorneys so afraid when I'm doing everything pro se? I've been on Facebook with 9.6 million views. I've been on Instagram and TikTok with 3.2 million. They poured acid on my 90-year-old mother.
And you have the evidence of this?
Yes. I have a court case, 22 CBS 001444-910. There's body cam footage of the fact that these people broke in our house in Roseville. We went to Wake County Court. I've been in court 7 times pro se.
And what are they saying?
There's a body cam footage where they videotape everything that they did to me and my mother.
But I'm saying, what does the court say when you present this evidence?
When I presented it, they said that Roseville Police Department and their attorney has confirmed there's a body cam footage of everything that I'm talking about. So the judge ordered Roseville Sheriff David Simmons to turn over all the body cam footage, and he has refused. So the judge is upholding a motion of contempt against Roseville Police Department for $5,000 per day back to March 18th of 2022. That's $6.5 million. But for some reason, when I go to the NAACP, when I talk to them, they're like, you actually ran into a Grand Wizard. I'm like, I know. I go before a sheriff in Wake County. Ma'am, you actually ran into a Grand Wizard. Do you understand your life is in jeopardy? Do you understand they just killed my 90-year-old mother?
Yeah, but I'm still trying. I'm hearing your passion. I'm really feeling for, because I just couldn't imagine how you feel. But I'm trying to find out why if you have the camera footage, why isn't anyone picking up the case? I really don't understand. What are they saying? Wait a minute. Whoa. Let me ask the question. What are they saying to you is the impediment in the case for them to go forward? That's what I'm not hearing.
Roseville Police Chief David Simmons has refused to turn over the body cam footage all the way back to 12/30 of 2019.
So then why has he not been held in contempt?
They're being held in contempt of court by Judge Shirley and Judge Rosser. I've been before the court now pro se 7 times.
But if they've been held in contempt, then why haven't they paid the contempt off and the courts ordered the footage turned over?
The Judge Shirley and Judge Rosser ordered them to turn over the footage. Roseville Police Sheriff has declined. On January 12th of 2026, we go back to court for the 7th time, which is the motion of contempt.
Yeah, that you need that really, if it's as you outlined it, that really doesn't make sense. Hold on a minute, y'all pick up and get me her information. Somebody needs to look into this from Nan, and I don't even want to name an attorney. I know an attorney in North Carolina need to look at this. Get her information directly to me. Thank you for your call. I mean, wow. And a lot of people will hear this all over the country and say, there may be something wrong with that, and it's possible. But let me tell you something. That's how we got on Trayvon Martin. That's how we got on a lot of these cases. They were not ridiculous. They were not thought up. And that's why people like me take the risk, because that could be my mother or my child. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Keeping it real. Sharpton. Be right back.
We have a house everybody. So we just wanted to greet you all and thank you for allowing us in. Yes, sir. We were really cool. Yeah. We was here.
They were on the plantation.
Our family was on the plantation.
Wow.
And that's, of course, that's the slave house. That's one of the slave houses. Sir, it's been 13 years.
That's right.
Good to
How
see
you been?
Doing fine.
Right, last time. And we,
Alexander Sharpton. How many slaves were staying there?
I have no idea.
This is where they would have a slave.
Yeah, that's what, exactly. That was, exactly.
The two people that most influenced my life were from South Carolina, James and Jesse. Jesse right up the road from me. I went over his mother's funeral. Jesse walked me to my mother's casket. To South Carolina. That's the balance of my life, James.
Yeah.
civil rights showcase.
But also where your people from too.
Literally.
Yeah, right.
And when I knew Jesse was from James, I started president.
Yeah.
And James had died before I knew about it in South Carolina.
Oh, really?
Yeah. James died December 25th. He died Christmas Day, 06. And they came to do the story for February of 07. They came in January. His daughter swear that was his daddy and helped him push the information out.
Wow.
And I called Jesse and told him, do you know that my great-grandfather was a slave about 45, because Greenville right up to I-20. He said, I told you we was connected. That's why you got to listen to me. But
Rev, you know, you were right there
from the beginning
with the stuff that was going on in Brooklyn at that time, at Howard Beach. You were right there.
He had in one of the early movies, he had my name. Then he put me in Malcolm, and I wasn't even old enough to know Malcolm. So we've been through it all.
For those who see Malcolm X, it's 3 hours. But fast forward to the scene yourself.
Yep.
Bobby Seale.
Right. Bobby Seale, Denzel, and me.
Yeah.
Denzel was on the set.
Now, let me ask a question.
Yep.
What was your weight on that scene?
I probably about 270. I was bigger then.
Yeah.
Still had the hair, man.
Yeah, you had the head on.
Yeah, it was
Denzel, yourself, and Bobby Seale.
Yeah, all in one scene.
And also, there was no cut. We went like this.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Only Spike could have done that.
It's my brother right here.
My baby.
Brooklyn's in the house.
Yes, sir.
Brooklyn's in the house.
BK. Hey, what's up? They got, they're doing, thank you. They're doing, What's on Your Mind? Yeah. All right, then, we got a birthday this week. I got to talk about that.
Oh, no.
Happy birthday this weekend. And Carrie White's birthday, right?
Corey's birthday's today.
Yeah, and I got, tell Reverend Bird be ready, Daniel 5th chapter, I want him to read. And I'm ready. Got a message from today, so we'll be on the air in what? Half hour.
About a half hour.
You should tune in to the WBLS 107.5 FM and National Impact and www.nationalnetwork.net. All right, I'm ready. Make sure you operate on time or I'll tell them how old you are. Oh, do I seem excited? I am excited because this Saturday, the National Action Network Saturday Action Rally starts live on WBLS 107.5 FM in New York. We're going to expand. Every Saturday morning, we're live on WBLS 107.5 from 10 a.m. to 11. You'll hear the message. You'll feel the energy. You'll be involved. You won't be sitting around talking about, oh my God, look at what's happening. You'll be involved in dealing with what's happening. I'm excited, and you should be excited to turn on WBLS 10 a.m. every Saturday morning. I have a message for you, and if you want to, you can come to the House of Justice and be there live, 145th Street and Lenox Avenue. We kick off at 9, and we don't stop until we deal with getting our people energized.
Joining James Brown, Muhammad Ali, and myself now from New York City is the Reverend Al Sharpton. And Mr. Brown, James, I'd like to ask you about this young man, how you came to meet him, and what the national youth movement, which he represents, is all about. Tell me something about
that. Teaching young kids the right way to go, and the things to be involved in education. Don't be a dropout, which is one thing I'm very much behind. Unless kids have guidance, they have no place to go. And the idea is to try to mold them. I mean, we think of anything, we think of it as a baby. And what we mold them to be is what it will be later on. He used to stand at my back door, and he believed in what I said, the Don't Be a Dropout program, and the fact of helping kids and giving them the right idol and the right image to go with, cleaning, grooming, and wanting to work, wanting to be something. I saw it as a as a kid, juvenile delinquent, you know, and everything. Had no model. And I was able to be a model for a young man like this. And what he turned out to be, he's a minister, and he preaches the right thing, and I'm for him 1,000%. I'm for everything he's about.
Mr. Sharpton, how national right now is the National Youth Movement? Is it something new? Has it been going on for a while? Do you have a stated number of members? Tell me something about it.
Well, we don't really get into a numbers game because that's been a trick that has been played for the last 20 years. What we're basically interested in doing is saying to young people of impoverished backgrounds that there are people like a Muhammad Ali and a James Brown that represents hope to us. Because these people, despite all of the social odds, despite the unemployment statistics, despite the lack of education in their day, were able to grow and be something that we can be proud of. A man like me didn't have a father at home, but I had a James Brown to look up to and would want to sing and dance like him, or Muhammad Ali, who I saw stand up and give away millions of dollars of stamps to the government so that I would have a right to come 10 or 20 years later and try to fight for my kids. So what we're saying is there are symbols and images that kids can look up to and not have to throw a brick through a window, but that can work by the sweat of their brow and succeed, just like these two gentlemen did.
But considering the numbers of young kids today, and Rev, there are hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of kids who really are in hopeless and desperate situations, is it enough to just offer them an example?
You say hopeless, though. Not hopeless.
Well, let's say, well, to them, 10, 11, 12-year-old kids,
it's never hopeless. There's no such thing as hopeless. It's never hopeless. When I got 8 to 16 years for breaking and entering as a kid because I was hungry, and here I am today, it's not hopeless. Don't say hopeless. Then we're copping out. I don't believe in hopeless. Don't you think it's hope? If you believe in something, try it. No such hopeless. I don't believe in hopeless. We're not going to go with that. And I think he's not about teaching them how to get out and fight for themselves. That's what it's about. No, it's not hopeless. Everybody has a cause and everything, but everybody want to live. And I think living is what we're about. We're not going to teach dying. Hopeless is dying.
Okay, I agree with you 100%, James. But what I'm trying to ask here is simply saying you too can be a James Brown or a Muhammad Ali. Is that enough to give a kid who's hungry, who doesn't know where his next meal is coming?
I'll say it.
Give him somewhere to go.
I think it's awful weak to tell a kid you can be a James Brown, one of the greatest entertainers in the world.
I am your host, Reverend Al Sharpton, and we're live this 2 days before Thanksgiving. We're talking about the issues, and we're talking about our concerns, and we're talking about how I just got back from Newark, joining Newark Mayor Raz Baraka and Reverend Stepford Bartley, giving away hundreds of turkeys, and going to be at 5 o'clock at the House of Justice doing the same thing today in Harlem at our annual giveaway. And then on Thanksgiving Day, we stay all day having meals, hot meals, passing them out, eating with the people. Spike Lee just texted me, so I'll be there bright and early, ready, start 11 o'clock. He and Mayor Mandani's coming and Tish James. But it occurs to me that some of us, not all, let me be careful, but some of us act like this is make-believe. These are real people. When we talk about 22 million people, premiums will go up to the roof on health care, which will take away health care for them and their families. These are real people that will not be able to afford health care. This is real. You have real people that were taken off SNAP that had to eat one meal and decide which meal their kids could have. This is real. This is no joke. This is no Netflix special. This is real. And some of us need to really deal with it. Let's go back to the phones. 1-877-532-5797. 1-877-532-5797. Let's go to Demetrius in Cleveland, Ohio, WERE. Demetrius.
Hey, thank you, Reverend Sharpton.
Thank you.
Talking to you. Yeah, first of all, I just want to mention, I heard on the news this morning a number of the government workers who work at the airport, and a lot of them are African American, though they still haven't got their paycheck.
That's right.
You know?
I've heard that. Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's outrageous. You know that Trump put on a show, you know, when it was giving some workers bonuses with those mostly Caucasians, but the majority of them that haven't got their paychecks. And I also heard that Donald Trump, he putting a lot of money behind the AI system, and to me, that's a signal that he plan on laying off or firing more government workers, you know, and replacing them with machines, you know, and don't care about people well-being and make sure the system working smoothly. You know, his main aim is, you know, to take money away from one part of the government, especially from those, you know, who you feel like not going to back him all the way and have them to suffer, but yet, you know, take care of people who he feel going to ride behind him. And that's, to me, that's nonpartisan and also discrimination. And also when he make his accusations, you know, going after those who advise the safety forces, you know, the army and the policemen, that they don't have to, they shouldn't break the law, because their main goal is to uphold the law and don't follow any orders. You know, that's the responsibility. They're citizens of this country. They don't supposed to break the law. They're supposed to protect Americans' rights. And for Donald Trump to say, you know, that whoever say anything contrary to that is giving the okay to, like, even the police brutality. Say it's all right for the police to do what they do, as long as, you know, it's coming from him. You know, those people, they have those positions to protect the lives of all Americans. They don't supposed to go outside the law, you know, in doing that. If they do go out the law, they're supposed to be punished. And even for him to say that, like you said before, if President Obama would say that, it would have been outrageous. They would say, well, he advocating sedition or murder.
Right.
Because I believe that's why Representative Green from Alabama, why she resigned, she probably come under pressure. She felt her life might be threatened, you know, because it had been different groups going out, you know, making threats or going to people's houses, leaving notes. You know, and to me, that's just outrageous. That's like sending out a hit squad to people, intimidating people not to speak out. Even the caller before from North Carolina, you know, when the judges told her some NWCP, somebody was a grand wizard, you know, that's the same situation, threatening people, you know, but people have to stand up to that, you know, and don't feel threatened, because the footsteps people left behind, Thurgood Marshall, Dr. King, many others, civil rights, human rights movement, Black Power movement, they feel threatened. No matter what the threat is, you got to make the sacrifice, and those who make the threats, they'll back down. Sometimes it's just bullies, but it's just outrageous when people try to intimidate people from their rights, especially holding government offices, you know, and want to maintain power, you know, and threaten people who trying to uphold the Constitution or just uphold their dignity as citizens who want their rights, you know, as Americans, even worldwide. And also when Donald Trump called immigrants here, they were terrorists, you know. See, to me, he's trying to say it with terrorists so he can treat them any kind of way. Now, they're not terrorists. Most of them just came here, you know, just to for a better living, you know. So they shouldn't be labeled terrorists. So give okay for Americans to feel like they can be treated any type of way. That's the same thing as saying when you see African Americans, you see Latino, you see any other group, like they categorize the Italians and so forth, of being organized crime. You know, that's just stereotyping and giving it okay to oppress people,
right,
to discriminate against them. You know, and this all go back to bigotry and sectarianism. Okay, thank you, Larry Sharpton. Larry speaking. Have a good holiday. Appreciate
you
it.
as well, and to
Very
your
much.
family. Let me go to Anita in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Anita.
Hi, Reverend Al.
Hi.
I wanted to celebrate Mayor Harold Washington of Chicago when I was there. He was just wonderful. I looked at the news again. It was something positive. And then he had a heart attack, but I believe he was killed. They resisted him the whole time that he was in office, but he was just magnificent. He's my hero. He's my politician, mentor. He's everything. That's why I can speak so clearly, because Harold was so down to earth and so clear about how he felt about stuff, and he didn't mince his words. He was just, oh my God. But anyway, he had a song called a slogan called "Here's Harold," and then he would say he's gonna run it from the grave. And I'm here to make sure that all cities have a mayor and, you know, a man that cares about all people, including his own. And Mayor Eric Adams, I'm very upset about what happened to him, because Trump is getting he got a jet airplane, and then somebody else got some money to do business. Okay, I think it was his son-in-law from the Arabs. When Elijah Muhammad was trying to work with the Arabs and Malcolm X ended up missing. And I was told that Elijah Muhammad did it, but I still don't believe that. And Eric Adams was working with Turkey, and Imam Warif Din Muhammad said Turkey wants to have part of the peace process. And they got rid of Mayor Adams right after that with the Turkey stuff. So there's something going on to stop black men from being powerful, but we're kingdom builders. We build God's kingdom. We make sure oppressed women are able to not be raped and killed for no reason and beat and in servitude, and her children, and have a family. Elijah Muhammad, all these people and all these black men were kingdom builders of God. And right now they say Elijah Muhammad had 5 wives, right, Reverend Al? Or however many he had. Okay, the world is based on one husband. And what condition is the world in? Are people bombing people in areas where they believe in one husband? Okay?
I think they're bombing people no matter what you believe. You have different religions in different areas of the world, and all of the areas are bombing people. So I think that we can't categorize just one. But thank you for your call. Let me go to Alicia in Seattle, Washington. Alicia, you're keeping it real with Al Sharpton.
Hello?
Hello.
It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Pleasure to
Hello,
talk to you.
I'm here.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to make a comment about what Todd was talking about last Thursday about, is there a such thing as good and bad gentrification?
Okay.
And I just wanted to say, gentrification is like a double-edged sword. It is horrible for some people, but it's wonderful for others. Gentrification has always affected black people and black communities. That's why I say that. And black people need to quit. Like you said, what should you talk about on Thanksgiving while you're having dinner? Don't talk about Epstein, because we've already wasted enough time on that. Talk about all the things that black people have suffered.
All right. Thank you for your call. I hear the music. Thank you for your call. 1-877-532-5797. 1-877-532-5797. Sharpton. Keeping it real. Be right back.
1, 2, 3, I got the feeling. Hey, baby, baby, I got the feeling. How I got that feeling, yeah. Hey, hey, got that feeling, y'all. Come on. Feeling, baby. Oh, I got the feeling, y'all. Can you put your hands together? I got the feeling. Oh, won't you say, baby, baby, I got that. Baby, oh, feeling, baby. Oh, hey, Thank you so much. My name is True Osborne. Humbled and honored.
All right.
Knew love like this before. 'Cause I never knew love like this before.
Sounds so good. That was beautiful. Thank you, everyone. I am humbled and grateful to be here with you tonight. I love you too. I love you too. It seems like I've known Reverend Al Sharpton all my life. My mom was such a fan of his, and I've seen him through my life in LA at MCA Records. When I was there, he'd come through, you know, and get those people straight about our contracts and talk about that. And I haven't been honored a lot. Maybe this is my second time, and I'm 68 years old. And I've been in this business my entire life. I've never done what you would call a real job. But I am truly honored, and I'm thankful, and I love us. I love my black people. And I fight for us, and I want the women, the black women, to really know their worth. Know that they're queens. That's important to me. That's how my mother raised me. My mother was militant, I guess, when it wasn't trendy, yes. Because when I was a little girl, my mother and father would drive in Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, do or die. And when she would see police officers handling black children or a black boy or a girl, she would have my father stop and say, she'd get out of the car and she'd say, "What's going on here? Wait a minute, what you doing?" All the time. So it's natural that I'm that way because I'm so tired of seeing our black men beaten with handcuffs. They have handcuffs on. That's important to me. That's my fight. I want love in this world. We're living in some, I love you, I love you. I never knew love like this before. I can't sing because we just finished doing 3 shows back to back. And I flew in this morning, and because Reverend Al wanted me to sing home. There's no way I could sing home, but okay. When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. I wish I was home. I wish I was back there with the things I've been knowing. When that makes us tall grass bend into leaning, suddenly the raindrops that fall have a meaning. Sprinkling the sea makes it all clean. But thank you. Thank you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I love you. I love you with my life.
Stephanie Mills.
Some of you forget where you come from and forget how you got there and act like you got there because you were qualified or that you had a good resume. But some of us had to pay a price for your resume to even be read. Some of us had to take nights in jails and licks upside the head or shut out of boardrooms like Byron so you could walk down red carpets and act like you got there by yourself. So I received this award with a special, special place in my heart and on my shelf because I'm getting it from a freedom fighter who never forgot where he came from and how he got there. Yes, we've come a long way. We've had now a black president and now a black vice president. But we still can get shot down and have to march to get a case in court. We still can get shut out of boardrooms. We're still doubly unemployed in a good economy. So we're going to have to keep marching. And I thank not only my family, a mother that raised me by herself, but I thank that lady at the end of the march that knows she won't be on TV that night and knows her name will never be in the paper, but she believed in me enough to get at the end of the line and make me look good. Because Dr. King used to say, if you call a march and no one shows up, you just going for a walk. And I want to thank those that marched with me. 32 years ago, here in Los Angeles, we marched. And then many years later, with George Floyd and others, we're still marching. And I'm going to keep marching. I'm going to keep agitating. And I'm going to keep going. Until we don't have to do it anymore. Eddie, known you a long time, Mariah, Chris, and your kids. And I promise you this, the only thing that I really live for is I get up with this dream that every bigot, every racist, everyone in this country that hates will say, damn, he's up again.
No justice! No justice!
62 years ago today, Martin marched in Washington. 62 years later, the dream is not dead.
I am your host, Reverend Al Sharpton, and we're back. One 877-532-5797, 1-877-532-5797, or you can go to our message board at www.nationalactionnetwork.net. And Elroy Robertson says on the message board, every opportunity I have, I will inquire of them all. What did Martin Luther King mean when he said, quote, the Negro still is not free on his own land? Well, it's a question Dr. King raised, and I don't think it was just a rhetorical question. And I think there are many people that interpret it different ways. I will say this, Elroy, I think that and I come out of the King movement. I didn't know Dr. King while I was too young, but I was mentored by his lieutenants. And I think he was talking about how we worked the land. I know the stories from my own family tree. My great-grandfather, my grandfather's father, and mother were slaves, and never was free on the land they tilled, the land they made rich, the land they made wealthy. You go to the next generation, my grandfather and grandmother owned their property, but couldn't use public accommodations and couldn't use public library, couldn't ride the front of the bus, but they had to pay taxes that paid for all of that. And the next generation, my father's generation, had to deal with the tearing down of segregation, legal segregation, but still couldn't break the chains of business buyers. My father was an entrepreneur, couldn't get a bank loan, red lined. So I think all of that is what Dr. King was referring to. And I thank you for raising the question. Let's go to Janet in Baltimore, Maryland. Janet.
Hey, good afternoon and happy holidays to you.
Same to you, Janet.
I heard an interesting situation explained on another talk show that because Brett Kavanaugh set some arbitrary date of the end of February as the date that maps and things would have to stay as they are, by Alito saying that Texas was a temporary freeze, but a temporary freeze with the new map they just made up. California is also under that freeze, even though they don't have a map yet. Just the process is being challenged. So if they keep this temporary freeze in till the end of February, that means that the November election will go along under the temporary freeze, and they don't have to take a vote. It just is what it is.
Well, I think that they will, if they accept the case, the Supreme Court accepts the case, they would have to make a ruling by June when the session's over, which is which is after February. Now, if they accept the case, we should know that shortly. If they don't accept the case, then it goes back to the decision of the district court, and the district court ended the districts the way they were in Texas. So it's like I said yesterday, I explained it yesterday, I think that they have a hard decision in the Supreme Court, because if they rule that the district court is wrong, then it means it goes back to the original drawing of the lines. And the district court has found those lines were racial, so they will in effect be saying it's all right to draw lines by race. So then they've got to say that in Section 2, the case Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. And the conservatives don't want to say that. If they say that the original map was right, then it wipes out automatically the new seats that Texas had tried to district in, so they lose those 5 seats and other seats around the country. So they're between, from a right-wing viewpoint, they're between a rock and a hard place. I think, and I can't, guarantee I wouldn't bet on it, but if I had the answer, I think they're going to decide not to hear it, because it's either way, they're going to go in a situation that's not going to be helpful to the right wing.
Well, let me ask you this. Then why do the temporary freeze to take Texas's new map if it's a possibility they're going to throw it out? The whole point of, I think, this person's conversation was something about that the February date was the cutoff for maps.
Yeah, but see, they can come back right after Thanksgiving and say that we're going to hear the case. And then as soon as they say they're going to hear the case, the February goal is stopped, because the Supreme Court rules over all of that. So if they decide to hear the case, it freezes the February date.
I understand all of that, but what the point that this guy was making was that if they let it stay and do nothing, and let February pass, then Texas wins and LA loses.
No, that's not true. From what I understand, if they let it go past February, right, they'd have to then have stated that they are staying it indefinitely. And how do they stay it indefinitely when you have primaries scheduled in Texas? They have to decide whether they're going to hear the case or not, because you have primaries in Texas. I believe it's March.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Even if they let it go past that, they still got to make a decision.
They've got to make a decision.
So wouldn't it be just like it was with that Georgia situation that when Georgia said they weren't going to put no more new registration in the system because they didn't have the time and the money, and those people were just out.
Yeah, they were just out because you were dealing with the material need to supply the voting equipment, voting stuff at the polls. But this is a matter of maps, and this is done by the legislature, which is different in California. You mentioned California. California was voted on by the citizens of the state. So there the Supreme Court would have to overrule an election. California was an election. It wasn't the legislature and the governor. So this is a hard one for the Supreme Court, conservatives. And I'm waiting to see how they're going to deal with it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for your call and your interest. Let's go to David in Washington, D.C. David.
Let's go and take our break. Let's take a break.
Wait a minute, David. Let me take my break. We're right on the break. I'll come right back to you right after the break, and others of you on the phone, 1-877-532-5797, Sharpton, keeping it real. Be right back.
Church, I want to present to you a man of God, a man of his community, the Reverend Howard Hundley.
Together. Yes, I am. Trouble don't last always. I'm so glad. Yes, I am. Trouble don't last always. Can I get a witness? I'm so glad. Trouble don't last always.
Reverend Al Sharpton, and we're back. 1-877-532-5797. 1-877-532-5797. Let's go back to the phone. Attorney Jennifer Jones-Austin. You know, every day, Monday through Friday, I do 3 hours a day on Keeping It Real with Reverend Al Sharpton. I do 1 hour on Sunday mornings with Reverend Al Sharpton. And I'm live on radio and TV with the Saturday Action Rally. 7 days a week, I talk to our people, hear from them, the call-in. I'm sick and tired of people talking for people that they don't talk to. So go on www.nationalactionnetwork.net. Listen to my show, call in, express your opinion. You don't have to agree with me. But let's start talking to each other rather than about each other and lecturing at each other. Let's keep it real with Sharpton. I had a thought this morning that I wanted to share with you about mentorship. I am able to do a lot of what I do because I had great mentors, but there are correct ways and incorrect ways to mentor people, in my opinion. I was mentored as a boy preacher by Bishop F.D. Washington, one of the great Pentecostal preachers of his time.
Then Reverend William Jones became my pastor after Bishop Washington died, who was unquestionably in the top 5 black church ministers, theologians. Reverend Jesse Jackson, who I started my activism under his leadership, he and Reverend Jones. And I learned politics directly as a youth director from Shirley Chisholm. So even though I didn't finish college, I had the most unique education in the world from being exposed to giants. But the one thing I learned is as I grew older and people started coming younger than me and wanted me to teach and mentor them, the magic of the mentors I had is they did not want me to be their clone. They wanted me to learn things from them and use my own gifts and talents in my own unique way and let me do things on my own, because they knew that if I flopped in some things, it would teach me for the other things. They'll come and help me once I was down, but they were not going to have me avoid being down. And they were not going to impose themselves on me. Why am I saying that? Because too many mentors want clones. And too many mentees want their mentors to put them on a pedestal. Oh, so-and-so didn't do this for me. Oh, so-and-so didn't open doors for me. If they got to open doors for you, it may mean that they knew you weren't ready to go through those doors. Their job is to prepare you. Your job is to develop your own skills, your own unique ways. And I don't care if it's my daughters, who both have come into their own, or anyone else. I'm not a talent agent. I did not form National Action Network to give people their step up. I formed it to fight for justice for everybody. If talented people get in, it's my job to invest and give them a platform. It's their job to get on the platform and perform and show their ability. Sitting with me today in the office as I talk about it is one of my mentees, Reverend Stephen Marshall. Now, Stephen, you just came around us when you were how old?
11 years old.
11 years old. You just turned 40 and now you're called to the ministry?
Yes, sir.
And what do you do in National Action Network?
I formulate policies, lead in various regions, but most importantly, I senior advisor to you on all things from social justice strategies, politics, intergovernmental affairs, you name it, community organizing, all of that stuff.
And I could go through scores of others. My daughter started Huddle. They got Huddles now, which is for young people to meet once a week all over the country. I just saw the video from the Las Vegas National Action Network chapter. Now, when you decided to preach, did I ever tell you to become a preacher?
Not one time.
Who called you to preach?
The Lord.
All right. And did I say go to this school or that school?
No, sir.
Did I open this door, that door? Did I tell you be ready when the doors open?
Always be ready and prepared.
And that's what I'm saying. Get you some young people than you that you can help along the way. But don't be their talent agent. Their talent must speak for themselves. And anybody that grumbles with you about so-and-so didn't do something for them, maybe it's because they didn't feel you were ready, or that they felt if they did it, you wouldn't do it on your own. But we all don't live forever. I want the next generation to speak of me, of National Action Network, and others, the way I speak of Reverend Jones and Bishop Washington and Shirley Chisholm and Reverend Jackson. But I just don't want young people to feel that somebody ought to give them the reins of leadership or give them the reins of business or whatever it is you're in. You need to learn from their journey, get the pearls of wisdom from them, but don't have them do for you, because then it means you can't do it for yourself.
No justice, no justice, no justice. What do we want? What do we want? We are the sons and the daughters. We gotta stand up and make it loud. Just like our God told the Pharaoh, let my people go, go.
With your families, Thanksgiving weekend, some heading home. We will be live, and I'll be dealing with the issues And I've already began booking some of our senators and governors, telling them the Turkey Day is over Saturday and Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. You be on to tell the nation what is happening and what is not happening. So make sure you tune in Saturday and Sunday, Politics Nation with Al Sharpton, on MS Now, formerly MSNBC. Also, you that are in the New York area, if you're visiting relatives or having relatives visit you, bring them to the Saturday Action Rally. I'll be there. Would love to meet them at the Saturday Action Rally in Harlem at the House of Justice, 145th Street and Lenox Avenue, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. in the village of Harlem, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And, of course, as I've stated, right after I get off the air today, I'm headed to National Action Network to distribute turkeys. They've already got hundreds already delivered. I'm giving out turkeys. I just gave out several hundred with Mayor of Newark, New Jersey, Raz Baraka and Reverend Steffi Bartley. We're doing Harlem at 5 o'clock in Harlem at the House of Justice. And then on Thursday, on Thanksgiving Day, we'll be at the House of Justice starting at 11 a.m. And Mayor Zoran Mandani and State Attorney General Tish James and super producer, director Spike Lee is going to help me serve meals, and we're going to eat and spend Thanksgiving Day with you there in Harlem. And then at 1 o'clock, I'm going to Brooklyn, and we're going to do the same thing in Brooklyn. You get all the information on our website, www.nationalactionnetwork.net. I said I was going to David on the phone in Washington. Let me say, I have Reverend Dr. Malcolm Bird here in the studio. In the office. This is a corporate office, and he went with me to Newark. Reverend Bird, quickly, because I got David on hold. Explain to people the significance of this year, particularly having meals on Thanksgiving Day, having turkeys given away today, given the economic climate with inflation and other things that we're seeing particular pain in our community.
Thank you, Reverend. I was honored to be with you this morning in Newark as we observed the line that went all the way around the block as individuals were in line to get turkeys. I think what this Thanksgiving represents for all of us, with all that our nation may have, we are still in moments of great scarcity where we're not just dealing with individuals who are non-working poor. You're dealing with government workers who still haven't gotten their checks, who are standing in line as well. And I think this Thanksgiving means for us more than any time before the importance of pulling whatever you have together to come to the table together, to sit down as a family together. And even if you don't have a specific family or a large family, finding a place this week to sit down with individuals to share in a meal as a community, I think that's of vital importance.
Now, for you that, as I said, we'll be doing the turkey giveaway at 5 today if you're in the New York area and need a turkey or know someone that you want to bring one to, I'll be there. And then on Thursday, 11 o'clock, join me and the mayor-elect and the state attorney general, Tish James, and Spike Lee at 11 sharp. We're going to start serving the hot meals at the House of Justice, 145th and Lenox. And then at 1 o'clock, we'll be in Brooklyn at John Wesley United Methodist Church, 260 Quincy Street in Brooklyn, 1 o'clock on Thanksgiving. So I'm going both locations. And you that need it, join me there. Or come help serve. Some people, I know that Mark Morial of the National Urban League says he's coming and serving for an hour and a half, and then going home and having his Thanksgiving. And a lot of you ought to do that. You ought to do something for more than yourself. It's a blessing. Let's go to David in Washington, D.C. David, you're keeping it real with Al Sharpton.
Reverend Sharpton, Reverend Bird, all I'm going to say is thank you from a 77-year-old man with cancer. Thank God for y'all. Love you.
I appreciate you saying that. Thank God for you.
Bless you.
Taking the time to say that. Let's go to Miss Richardson, my friend in Chevy Chase, Maryland. Miss Richardson.
Yes, dear. How are you today, Rev?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Oh, fine. Are you ready for your Thanksgiving dinner?
Well, I serve more than I eat on Thanksgiving, but I'm ready. I'm absolutely ready.
That's so wonderful, you. Yes, I tell you. Because I think we all are trying to keep up with everything. This person in the White House is a disgrace. Okay, I heard C-SPAN. They had a beautiful panel today, and I had to get it out to get your thoughts, Reb, on it. There's a lot of Davids in the world, it looked like it. I think you were speaking to a Reverend David, somebody, and there's the Reverend David Black. This gentleman, my husband's name is David, too. And anyway, he is out of Chicago, where there's a lot of, things going on. And so he was concerned about ISIS because the panel was about 4 people that was on this panel, a podiatrist, a pediatric, child pediatric lady, and she was speaking beautiful about how these cuts are going to just hurt children. Trump has he doesn't care about children, it looks like it, because he's cutting a lot of these pediatric facilities where children are held for even extreme cases like cancer and things and research. And this Trump is cutting all this. And so, but David, Reverend David Black, this reverend, he's a reverend like you, Rev, and he's saying that ISIS has really caused his own family. His wife was involved in something. The man almost teared. He almost cried on the air. He's saying that they accosted his wife some way and had shoved her up against her car or something. I don't know.
That ICE did this?
Yeah, that ICE shoved the woman up to the car. And also another gentleman, a 79-year-old, and I don't know whether it was Mr. Black, because when I tuned in, he was already talking. It could have been him. But anyway, he says he's 79, and the ICE has slammed him to the ground. And he's 79 years old. This is an elderly man.
Wow.
And, yeah, 2 of them. Just like when you was talking about the George Healy, you remember? And you said you saw it on camera yourself.
Right.
And, they did this man like they did George Healy, the one that you were talking about. And they slammed this elderly man to the ground. And then they're shoving children, just shaking them like they're rag dolls. All right, and they were really explaining how cruel these people are under Trump. Trump's giving them the authority to do it. And we have a Supreme Court now. We have all these, that's what I don't understand about our community, Rev. We don't say anything about keeping in check with these people that supposed to keep the laws solid, like the Supreme Court, like the judges, federal, local, whatever, the judges here. And all of them are quiet, that they have their mouth shut like they're scared to death of Trump. And it was only one judge that was bold enough to stand up to Trump when he, let the lady, the one that was in question, and Toomey, the other those 2 people, the woman and Toomey, and that judge was the only one that could see that this lawyer that I guess under Trump, I don't know, but tried to sneak this woman, and she had no credentials to do it. She did not do it by law to where she had to be, sworn in by other judges or something. And she tried to get away with that to try to incriminate Toomey and that woman. The lady I'm talking about, Patricia James. And and so this judge stood up and made sure that this lawyer wasn't going to incriminate James, the woman.
Yeah, Tish James.
And Christian. And what was the man's name? Red Toomey. I can't pronounce his name. The one that.
Talking about FBI Director James Comey.
Comey, yeah. And anyway, that judge, it was only that one judge to stand up and to cite that lawyer, that woman was trying to incriminate these two people. No other judge spoke up. Isn't that sad? And Dr. Francis Quest Welsing would talk about that, how white people in authority keep their mouths shut when it comes to incriminating themselves. But they're the first to incriminate blacks, Native Americans, and people like that to be, criminal.
It has always been a double standard. That's why we have to keep fighting.
And I'm just saying, in closing, it's sad because, see, he was also saying, the same man, 79-year-old Reverend David Black, he was saying that all of these presidents did it too, that they had ISIS in there, but the Democrats had them too, is what he's saying. Under Obama, there was a little bit of ISIS in there making trouble, but the Democrats never spoke to it.
Yeah, but they never abused people like they're abusing now. Even under other Republicans, having ice is like having ice in the refrigerator. Doesn't mean it's in your Kool-Aid. They've got ice all over the place, kicking in doors, grabbing children. They've never had it like this. Thank you for your call. Let's take a break. Be right back. Keeping it real. Sharpton. Be right back.
We have a Sharpton birthday. So we just wanted to greet you all and thank you for allowing us in. Yes, sir. We want to go with gold. Yeah. We was here.
They were on the plantation.
Our family was on the plantation. Wow. And that's, of course, that's the slave house. That's one of the slave houses. Yeah.
Sir, it's been 13 years.
That's right.
Good to see
you been?
Doing fine. Good.
Right, last time. And we,
Alexander Shaw. How many slaves were staying there?
I have no idea.
This is where they would have a slave.
Yeah, that's when, exactly. That was exactly.
The two people that most influenced my life were from South Carolina, James and Jesse. Jesse right up the road. I went over his mother's funeral. Jesse walked me to my mother's casket. From South Carolina. That's the balance of my life, James.
Yeah.
Civil rights, shoulders.
But also where your people from too.
Literally.
Yeah, right.
And when I knew Jesse was from James, I started president.
Yeah.
And James had died before I knew about him in South Carolina.
Oh, really?
Yeah. James died December 25th. He died Christmas Day, 06. And they came to do the story for February of 07. They came in January. His daughter swear that was his daddy and helped him push the information out.
Wow.
And I called Jesse and told him, do you know that my great grandfather was a slave about 45? Because Greenville right up to I-20. He said, I told you we was connected. That's why you gotta listen to me. But
Rev, you know you were right there
from the beginning
with the stuff that was going on in Brooklyn at that time, at Howard Beach. You were right there.
He had in one of the early movies, he had my name. Then he put me in Malcolm, and I wasn't even old enough to know Malcolm. We've been through it all.
For those who see Malcolm X, it's 3 hours. But fast forward to the scene yourself, Bobby Seale.
Right. Bobby Seale, Denzel, and me.
Yeah.
Denzel was on the set.
Now, let me ask a question. What was your weight on that scene?
I probably about 270. I was bigger then.
Yeah.
Still had the hair, man.
Yeah, you had the head on.
Yeah, it was
Denzel, yourself, and Bobby Seale.
Yeah, all in one scene.
And also, there was no cut, so we went like this.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Only Spike could have done that.
It's my brother right here.
My baby.
Brooklyn's in the house.
Yes, sir.
Brooklyn's in the house.
BK. Hey, what's up? They got, they're doing, thank you. They're doing, What's on Your Mind?
Yeah.
All right, then, we got a birthday this week. I got to talk about that.
Oh, no.
Happy birthday this weekend. And Carrie White's birthday, right?
Corey's birthday's today.
Yeah, and I got tell Reverend Bird to read Daniel 5th chapter. I want him to read. And I'm ready. Got a message from today, so we'll be on the air in what? Half hour.
About a half hour.
You should tune in to the WBLS 107.5 FM and National Impact and www.nationalnetwork.net. All right, I'm ready. Make sure you operate on time or I'll tell them how old you are. Oh, do I seem excited? I am excited because this Saturday, the National Action Network Saturday Action Rally starts live on WBLS 107.5 FM in New York. We're going to expand. Every Saturday morning, we're live on WBLS 107.5 from 10 a.m. to 11. You'll hear the message. You'll feel the energy. You'll be involved. You won't be sitting around talking about, oh my God, look at what's happening. You'll be involved in dealing with what's happening. I'm excited, and you should be excited too. Turn on WBLS 10 a.m. every Saturday morning. I have a message for you, and if you want to, you can come to the House of Justice and be there live, 145th Street and Lenox Avenue. We kick off at 9, and we don't stop until we deal with getting our people energized.
Joining James Brown, Muhammad Ali, and myself now from New York City is the Reverend Al Sharpton. And Mr. Brown, James, I'd like to ask you about this young man, how you came to meet him, and what the National Youth Movement, which he represents, is all about. Tell me something about it.
It's about teaching young kids the right way to go, and the things to be involved in education. Don't be a dropout, which is one thing I'm very much behind. Unless kids have guidance, they have no place to go. And the idea is to try to mold them. I mean, we think of anything, we think of it as a baby. And what we mold them to be is what it will be later on. He used to stand at my back door, and he believed in what I said, the Don't Be a Dropout program. and the fact of helping kids and giving them the right idol and the right image to go with, cleaning, grooming, and wanting to work, wanting to be something. I started as a kid, a juvenile delinquent, and everything. Had no model, and I was able to be a model for a young man like this. And what he turned out to be is a minister, and he preaches the right thing, and I'm for him 1,000%. I'm for everything he's about.
Mr. Sharpton, how national right now is the National Youth Movement? Is it something new? Has it been going on for a while? Do you have a stated number of members? Tell me something about it.
Well, we don't really get into a numbers game because that's been a trick that has been played for the last 20 years. What we're basically interested in doing is saying to young people of impoverished backgrounds that there are people like a Muhammad Ali and a James Brown that represents hope to us. Because these people, despite all of the social odds, despite the unemployment statistics, despite the lack of education in their day, were able to grow and be something that we can be proud of. A man like me didn't have a father at home, but I had a James Brown to look up to and would want to sing and dance like him, or Muhammad Ali, who I saw stand up and give away millions of dollars of stamps to the government so that I would have a right to come 10 or 20 years later and try to fight for my kids. So what we're saying is there are symbols and images that kids can look up to and not have to throw a brick through a window, but that can work by the sweat of their brow and succeed, just like these two gentlemen did.
But considering the numbers of young kids today, and Rev, there are hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of kids who really are in hopeless and desperate situations, is it enough to just offer them an example?
You say hopeless, though. Not hopeless.
Well, let's say, well, to them, 10, 11, 12-year-old kids,
it's never hopeless. There's no such thing as hopeless. It's never hopeless. When I got 8 to 16 years for breaking and entering as a kid, because I was hungry, and here I am today, it's not hopeless. Don't say hopeless. Then we're carving out. I don't believe in hopeless. Don't you think it's hope? If you believe in something, try it. No such hopeless. I don't believe in hopeless. We're not going to go with that. And I think he's not about teaching them how to get out and fight for themselves. That's what it's about. No, it's not hopeless. Everybody has a cause and everything, but everybody want to live. And I think living is what we're about. We're not going to teach dying. Hopeless is dying.
I agree with you 100%, James. But what I'm trying to ask here is simply saying, you too can be a James Brown or a Muhammad Ali. Is that enough to give a kid who's hungry, who doesn't know where his next meal is coming?
I'll say that.
Give them somewhere to go.
I think it's awful weak to tell a kid, you can be a James Brown, one of the greatest entertainers in the world, and me, one of the greatest fighters. And like you said, the hundreds of thousands of millions of kids that need a break. You can't have that many great people, but they can get educated. They can go to school. They can learn. I'd like to say one thing. We have crime today. It's a big problem. I think they took a national vote on what the people want the government to spend most of the money on, and crime was over national defense.
And we're back. 1-877-532-5797. 1-877-532-5797. Twitter.com WRevAl, or you can go to our message board and send it at nationalactionnetwork.net. And let me go right back to the phone. Let me go to Fred in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Fred.
Hey, how are you doing, Rob?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Appreciate everything you do. Want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. And then also regarding, some of the things going on, where when it comes to Social Security, Medicare, and all these things, the people have to get to the point that, this is our money. It's not entitlement. This is taxpayer money for Social Security. We're paying into this, where this administration acting like it's their money coming out their pockets. No, there's millions of people paying into this, so we got to change that. It's not an entitlement. It's what we earn. We earned this. It's our right. The other thing I want to talk about is just when it comes to what he's trying to do with the military, and they're talking about unlawful order. I did 25 years in law enforcement, and if you remember the Rodney King incident,
I do.
The sergeant that was there on the scene, he was found guilty. He didn't throw one blow because he was there and he gave implied consent just by being there. And so the officers are found guilty. So anybody in the military, think, well, they gave me an order. No, you're going to be just as guilty as anything else, or if you let something go. Yeah, there are rules. There's rules in law enforcement about unlawful order, and that you're not supposed to do it. I did 7 years in internal affairs investigating an officer. So there's things that are in place to avoid what, this administration is trying to do. So that, and then just, we got to get to the point. Let's get on this guy for wasting taxpayers' money, all these, crazy investigations of people that he doesn't like. We have to change the scenario, and where the people start letting this Congress, the Senate, no, you work for us. We're not your toys. You're supposed to do what we need. And, so that's it. I mean, I really appreciate what you do. And the last question, I have a question, and I don't know if this is going on. I hope it is, or hope it will take place with the upcoming 2026 midterm. I mean, I think the Democratic Party, they should start now doing town hall meetings. If they're going to meet with you as a moderator, they can do Zoom calls, they can go city to city, but they need to start talking to the people, not, select groups. I mean, I know they got to screen for, people that may have mental health issues, but yeah, they have to start getting out there now. I don't know what they're waiting on. They have to start changes now, because he's trying to do that now with Epstein, as far as, there's Democrats on there. Yeah, well, there is on that. And if they did something to those young ladies, then they need to be prosecuted. But if you're not involved, if you're doing things right, start getting this done now. If there's voter laws that you got to combat with, then, okay, prepare for that. Help people get registered. They need ID. Let's help them get ID. Every wall they put up, let's find a way to go around it or go over it so we can get this stuff done, because, hey, this man is a nut. And then also he's trying to hide all the money he's stealing, all the money he's making off of Bitcoin and all the other things that are going on that we're not aware of. His family, there are companies in China, but he's America first, but he has companies elsewhere. So many things I could talk about, Rel. But I just want to say I appreciate everything you're doing. I wish other people get on the bandwagon, more like you, and, so we can change this country and get back to some type of normality.
Thank you for your call. Now, I think that we need all hands on deck. I love the idea of the town hall meetings. I know one of the things National Action Network is planning is we're doing a whole tour of HBCU colleges. I'm going to be in a few of the stops myself. Reverend Cassius Rudolph has come on staff putting that together. And in a lot of those cities where we do the HBCU tours, we're going to have town hall meetings. But I think you have a good idea. I'm going to bring it up Thursday with Hakeem when we're doing the meal giveaway, that we need to get a lot of the caucus members on these tours. And like you said, have it wide open where people can come and express themselves and hear also from the members of the caucus and members of leadership to say exactly what is and what is not happening. Some things are happening and it's not getting to the ground. Some things are not happening and the ground needs to be able to hold them accountable. So I agree with that. Let's go to Percy Johnson, labor leader in activist extraordinaire in Detroit. Percy. Is Percy there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I hear you now.
Okay, good. Thanks for taking my call. And that previous call is spot on. Definitely, those ideas that he had are valid, and that's truly what the focus has got to be, And so I'm listening to the conversation earlier, and we're talking, how if Obama was doing what Trump is doing, it would have been an outrage, which is true. But here's the deal. The fact that they have the trifecta and they have the power to run policy the way they want to, they don't care. of being fair. They don't care about, this is what Obama did. The fact that they got the power, they want to use their power, keep the power, and stay in power. And that's why it's so important in 2026 that we get out here and realize the power that we have as a people and strategizing and making sure that we can take the trifecta effect and stop falling for that conversation of it makes no difference.
Got Reverend Raw run for you.
Both parties is a problem. There's a distinct difference that when we vote and put people in place that will let us come in the halls of Congress and sit down and talk to them to move policy the way we want to have policy, they'll listen to us. You witness that, and I witness that all the time, Reverend Mel. You were able, when we voted for the people that we wanted to get elected, we were able to sit down, push policies, George Floyd bill. We was able to get the Affordable Care Act on. We was able to get things that we wanted to represent the people. We didn't have nothing like no ICE going on, no Project 25 that was taking a work away from people and putting people out in the streets, taking away SNAP and all that, not using our tax dollar. Every time we spend $1, that is money that goes into the system that when you don't vote, you letting somebody else decide where that money's going to go. And shame on you that you won't take time and advocate for money to come back and be reinvested in you and your community, and it's not done by you staying at home and not participating civically. You have to go out civically, get involved, and make sure that you are bringing the revenue back to your home and you putting people in place that's going to help bring resources back to your community.
Yes, and you're absolutely right. Thank you for your call. We're joined, as we are every Tuesday at this hour. Our co-host, he's been trying to get through, he's through the line now, is the senior pastor of the First Corinthian Baptist Church in Harlem, member of the National Board of the National Action Network, the Reverend Dr. Michael A. Walron. How you doing, Reverend?
Pretty good, Reverend Sharpton. How's everything today?
Pretty good, pretty good. The question of, as we go into the holidays, you do a lot of feeding and other services there from First Corinthian. As we approach this Thanksgiving, and you giving out turkeys and giving out hot meals like we are at NAN, what are you seeing in terms of, it seems, I'm getting a sense, I was in Newark today giving out turkeys with Mayor Baraka. I'm getting a sense that there's more people in need than usual, or they're coming out more than they did.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. At our food pantry, the lines have gotten longer. Usually, and you know where the church is, but on 116th and 7th, and you can see this. We've had lines going down 7th and then 116th. 116th lines have gone almost to 8th Avenue.
Wow.
So from 7th to 8th, it's been crazy. We found ourselves the past few Sundays also. We do pantry on Fridays, but the past couple of Sundays, we found ourselves giving out produce after church. And people have been standing in line waiting for that. So there's definitely a tremendous need. There's been an increase of need. And even though the shutdown is ended, I think the need preceded the shutdown, in many ways, because of prices and groceries still being expensive. All these things that Donald Trump promised would be lowered within the first month of him being president, we found out that was a farce. So the need has definitely increased this season, especially around these holidays. And I think that's something that most food pantries, most food distribution spaces have experienced. And then I happen to sit on the board for the Food Bank of New York City. And places like that have been impacted by the federal cuts, which have reduced the amount of resources they're able to provide. And they've been tapping into more private donors who've been filling the gap. But places like the food bank and other spaces have been hit by the federal cuts as well. So this is a difficult time for many people, Rev.
And it is that. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. We're going back to the phones and to our message board. Keeping it real. Sharpton. Walron. Be right back.
No justice! No justice! 62 years ago today, Martin marched in Washington. 62 years later, the dream is not dead.
I'm here because I must be here. Democracy is not there for the picking. You have to fight for democracy. That's what it is. What Trump will erase, we will replace.
Is the dreamers in many cases have reversed and tried to turn it into a nightmare. We come to Wall Street rather than Washington this year to let them know you can try to turn back the clock, but you can't turn back time. We gonna keep the dream alive on Wall Street.
It's been a long time coming, but I know
1968, Dr. Martin King was killed in Memphis, Tennessee. And it has been the commitment of Nash Action Network to always, in the month he was killed, to let them know they killed the dreamer.
I have a dream today.
They can't kill the dreamer. Hello, New Orleans. Let me tell you straight. They did not think we could come and be here tonight. They cut budgets and advertising, but one black man, Rich Newton, has said, I don't care. My families come together every 4th of July weekend, and essence will happen, because that's who we are. Give a big hand to Rich New Dennis for bringing us back. Why do we come? Because the essence of who we are is essential to what made this nation. We built this nation. We made this nation. We created the essential dollars that this nation lives off of. We don't care what bill they pass. We will not back up. We will not back down. We will not give in. We will not be chased out. We don't care who's in the White House. We will organize our house by house. We came over the Middle Passage. We survived slavery. We survived Jim Crow. Don't you give up now. Don't you turn back now. Stand up, black man. Stand up, black woman. Reclaim your dignity. Reclaim your place. So we stand with the Black Global Black Economic Forum. We stand with Essence Magazine because that's who we are. So don't give in now. Yes, there's some rough days, but we've been through rougher days than this. Yes, Trump is a bad dude, but we beat badder dudes than Trump. So let's party with a purpose, because our rhythm because we can smile through our pain and organize for our gain. Let's stand up and let's celebrate who we are. Thank you, God bless you.
Every step I take, you will be there. Every step I make, be together. Every step I take, you will be there. Every step I make, be together. Every step I take.
Whew. Thank you so much. I was thinking I was going to prepare a speech, but I can't read those things anymore. Name's Babyface, not Baby Body. But I wanted to, you made me sound so good with those words. I was like, that was me? I was like, when I look at my life and I think of the music and everything that I've done, I used to say that I don't know where it came from. I don't know where the words come from. I don't know where the music comes from. I don't know how I got here where I am, but that's not true. God got me here. This is and it becomes more clear to me every day that why I'm here. And I don't even know how I ended up standing here, except for the fact that I ran into Al at the Essence. He was walking in the room, and I said, I got to go say hello. And he said, I want to honor you. And I was like, really? He goes, yeah, I want to honor you. I said, really? Yep. And here I am standing here, and I can only thank you. I always want to do this, Michael. I love you too. Sorry. But I think of moments like this, I can't help but just think of how proud my mom would be for me to stand here. I have to say that just to be standing here and to be invited by Al Sharpton, and I want you guys to really think about this man who invited me here and how he has been fighting the fight for us all of these years. I don't think we give him enough credit. I don't think we give him enough love. Sometimes you just get used to people and you think, well, that's just Al. No. He's more than that. I want y'all to give him really love. Come on, let's give him. It's very true. Because I can remember times, I'm 67 years old, I can remember times in Indianapolis, Indiana. Yeah, it's true, I'm 67. And I can remember times in Indianapolis when I was growing up, and there were places before I was 5 years old that I could not go to because I was black. And I remember how civil rights, how that changed everything for me and for my life, and that I'm standing here today because of all of those changes, and I was able to do the kind of music that I do and do everything because
Dr. Michael A. Walron is our co-host. Rev Walron, I know you know which keeps up with the news. As you have heard now that the judge in the district in Virginia has overturn the indictments of James Comey, former FBI director, and the New York State Attorney General Tish James, who you and I both know well, should be with us Thanksgiving Day at the House of Justice. What signal does this send? And I tell you why I asked this. I got on the elevator last night, and a lady said to me, maybe the courts will finally kick in and give us some limitations of where this recklessness can go. And I said, let's hope. I mean, we don't know where the Supreme Court goes, but it does give people a sense that there is some guardrails here.
I think that, well, there's several levels I looked at this. One, I've really wondered whether or not Trump actually believes in the validity or the strength of these cases versus the headlines they grab when the Justice Department goes after these people. I think you know Trump enough, most of us, that he is one of those persons who's consumed with headlines, consumed with the spin cycle. And I think for him, it's more important to get the spin off of these issues than the realities of being able to follow through on these flimsy indictments. That's one level. Two, we've seen and we've been watching, this is not the only time he's seen cases where he's lost these cases. The federal courts have been busy overturning many things that he's done. The issue is that people are concerned and say, well, what is the Supreme Court going to do? The problem is the Supreme Court can't go after and reverse every single case.
Right.
So with the volume of cases that exist, the amount of cases out there, it actually puts Supreme Court in a situation where they have to keep it in lower courts. They can't keep trying to be seen as Trump's final hammer to get his way. So I think the volume of cases they brought up and the volume of cases against Trump have made it so the Supreme Court can't look at everything and try to change it. So I think that works against Trump. But I think, honestly, Rev, I think he's so consumed with just grabbing headlines in the moment to deflect from other things that I don't know if Trump is completely distraught at these dismissals, because I think what he wanted to get out of them, he got, which is those initial headlines to try to create fear, and if in his mind strike fear in these people who are his enemies, that he may come after them. But I don't think this is going to be the last time we see this. Now, the Bolton case is a little bit different, but I think the Tish James and Comey case was just flimsy from the beginning, Rev.
Your reaction as a prominent New York pastor to the meeting that he being President Donald Trump had with Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani?
Yeah, it was weird. That's the best word. I think here's what I know, Rev. You know, people don't realize one of the things that I think that I've admired in your work over the years is that what you say when you're not in the face of the foes you face is what you say in the presence of the foes you face. And I think we don't always get that, whether it's Trump or some other people. It doesn't take as much courage to talk about somebody when they're 1,000 miles away.
Right.
It takes a different kind of courage to say these things when they're in people's faces. It almost seemed like a little love fest, Trump trying to deflect questions directed towards Mamdani about him. He was very almost congratulatory with Mamdani. Mamdani never really seemed in attack mode. It wasn't like the meeting was Zelensky from Ukraine for sure.
Oh no.
So it was very interesting. And you almost wonder, here's what I spoke to someone, Rev, who was a young person who, was really high on Mamdani. And what they said to me was very interesting. They said, Pastor, it makes you wonder if all this political talk is performative and not real. And that's what I think some people walked away with. All the talk between these two, the exchanges over social media, the exchanges in the larger media, and then all of a sudden, while they're together, don't exist. They cause some people to wonder, how real is the angst?
Well,
or is it just political
I
theater?
think that that's a legitimate question, but I also think that it is interesting to me. I didn't have the same question you had from the young person you cited, but I asked one of my super progressive friends, explain to me what the standard is. And they said, what do you mean? I said, if I had had that meeting, y'all would have been saying that I was a sellout. I mean, just for having the meeting. And Trump has called me, as you know, you're on national board.
Right.
He called me once
Right.
while we were in a board meeting asking me to meet.
Right.
Just to have the meeting, you would have castigated me. If you, Rev Walron, went with other ministers and met with him, you'd have been lampooned.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I just want to know what the standard is now. Are we now
Right.
where certain progressives can do whatever they want, but black leaders can't? I mean, I'm trying to understand
Right.
who had a meeting one night and I missed the meeting because I didn't understand that.
Right. No, I'm in agreement with you. It does make you wonder, because as you said, the way we're quick to judge certain leaders but not others is very interesting, you know. And some of the biggest critics on social media are young people. But remember, it was so many young people who got behind him, supported him. It's just a very interesting dynamic. But you're 100% right. Had you met
And some of them now on his transition team. I mean, like I'm saying, like what happened?
Yeah. I think you saw the criticism he got behind maintaining Tish as the police commissioner.
Right.
You can't say I want to deal with billionaires and then keep one on as commissioner.
And you can't say that you're against A, B, C, D, and he keeps the order. You're on the transition team to decide on others that's going to join that administration. All I'm asking for is let's be consistent.
Consistency, absolutely, Rev.
Yeah, look.
Absolutely, and I think that it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think it is. I really I like Mandini. He be with us Thanksgiving. I like a lot of what he's saying. My question is not on him, because I don't think he said a lot that differently. I think it's the reaction of those that claim to be with him, because right away I'm starting to see moves that I was like, oh, I thought y'all wasn't with that. Like the socialists say he's going to run against Hakeem, and Mandani said he couldn't support him, he shouldn't run. If UI had said that, or Reverend Bird had said that, we could get ready for all kind of lambasted on social media. Not that we care, but I'm trying to raise the contradiction. It's not a question of what we believe. It's a question of, do y'all believe what y'all get on social media and say?
Right. And you know there's an inconsistency across the board, you know. So it's something. But I'm in agreement with you, Rev.
Yeah, I think I don't follow a lot of them. Maybe I should, so I can write back. Hypocrite. Maybe I need to go online and start blasting back. I ain't got that kind of time. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Keeping it real. Sharpton, Walron. Be right back.
1, 2, 3, I got the feeling. Hey, baby, I got the feeling. How I got that feeling, yeah. Hey, got that feeling, y'all. Come on. Feeling, baby. Oh, I got the feeling, y'all. Can you put your hands together? I got the feeling. Oh, won't you say, baby, I got that. Come on, sing it out. Baby, come on. Can't hear you. Hey, I got that. Thank you so much. My name is True Osborne. Humbled and honored.
All right.
'cause I never knew love like this before.
Sounds so good. That was beautiful. Thank you, everyone. I am humbled and grateful to be here with you tonight. I love you too. I love you too. It seems like I've known Reverend Al Sharpton all my life. My mom was such a fan of his, and I've seen him through my life in LA at MCA Records. When I was there, he'd come through, you know, and get those people straight about our contracts and talk about that. And I haven't been honored a lot. Maybe this is my second time, and I'm 68 years old. And I've been in this business my entire life. I've never done what you would call a real job. But I am truly honored, and I'm thankful, and I love us. I love my black people. And I fight for us, and I want the women, the black women, to really know their worth. Know that they're queens. That's important to me. That's how my mother raised me. My mother was militant, I guess, when it wasn't trendy, yes. Because when I was a little girl, my mother and father would drive in Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, do or die. And when she would see police officers handling black children or a black boy or a girl, she would have my father stop and say, she'd get out of the car and she'd say, "What's going on here? Wait a minute, what you doing?" All the time. So it's natural that I'm that way because I'm so tired of seeing our black men beaten with handcuffs. They have handcuffs on. That's important to me. That's my fight. I want love in this world. We're living in some, I love you, I love you. I never knew love like this before. I can't sing because we just finished doing 3 shows back to back. And I flew in this morning, and because Reverend Al wanted me to sing home. There's no way I could sing home, but okay. When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. I wish I was home. I wish I was back there with the things I've been knowing. When that makes us tall grass bend into leaning. Suddenly the raindrops that fall have a meaning. Sprinkling the sea makes it all clean. But thank you. Thank you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I love you. I love you with my life.
Stephanie Mills.
Some of you forget where you come from and forget how you got there and act like you got there because you were qualified or that you had a good resume. But some of us had to pay a price for your resume to even be read. Some of us had to take nights in jails and licks upside the head or shut out of boardrooms like Byron so you could walk down red carpets and act like you got there by yourself. So I received this award with a special.
Keeping it real, I'm your host, Reverend Al Sharpton, Reverend Dr. Michael A. Walron, our co-host, as is every Tuesday, the last hour. Don't forget, Saturday and Sunday, in fact, at your Thanksgiving family dinner, tell them Make sure we all watch Politics Nation with Al Sharpton live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on MS Now, formerly MSNBC. Had 2 great weekends. That first weekend before last was the first weekend it was changed to MS Now, and this past weekend, second weekend as it goes forward now, is MS Now. And both weekends you were there. We had high ratings, beat CNN, beat most of the other shows on cable. But we need you there not for the ratings. I'm not a TV host. I'm a person with a opinion show, and I try to make sure your opinions and your questions are there in front of people that matter. I go out of my way to make sure I'm not putting friends on that want to, just show people talk about, you never had me on my show. Exactly. Because I want people that are in the middle of what's going on, senators, governors, congresspeople, those that are on the front lines, those that are the legal minds in these cases. I want them on to tell our audience what the real deal is and is not some theory that somebody dreamed up in an ivory tower. So watch Politics Nation with Al Sharpton. I'll be live this weekend, again, 5 p.m. Eastern Time on MS Now, formerly MSNBC. Then you that are in the New York area may be visiting relatives here for Thanksgiving. We will have the Saturday Action Rally at the House of Justice. I'll be there looking for you 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. in Harlem, 145th Street and Lenox Avenue in the village of Harlem, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. You that are not in the New York area, turn on Impact Television. You can watch it there, the only black-owned, national, black-owned gospel cable network in the country. Or you can watch it at live stream at nationalactionnetwork.net. And as I've been announcing, we're on our way as soon as we get finished with the show to the House of Justice in Harlem, giving away turkeys as far as we can give them. I understand there's a line already there, so I'm on the way. And we are having hot dinners, hot meals all day on on Thanksgiving Day, day after tomorrow, at the House of Justice, 145th and Lenox. Come and help serve. You can come and serve for an hour, hour and a half, and then go on home if you're having Thanksgiving dinner, as many do. Or you can come and eat with us. Mayor-elect Mandani is going to be there. State Attorney General Tish James will be there. Spike Lee called me this morning, so I'm definitely be there. So spend Thanksgiving, a part of it, with us on Thursday. Reverend Walron, Dr. Walron, what's going on at FCBC?
Rev, we'll be doing very much the same you'll be doing from noon on Thanksgiving Day until we'll be distributing some groceries, but also hot meals. And so it should be a great day. And I tell everybody until, and we usually have a ton of food. It goes from about 12, sometimes about 5, 6, but we're excited. We got a lot of volunteers and a whole lot of food this year. So folks can come down to the corner of 116th and 7th. If they can't get into Nan, they can come down.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I got Malcolm Bird of Mother Amy Zion here in the office. As you know, he's COO. What, first you, Reverend Warren, then you, Bird. What ought people be doing at the table on Thanksgiving dinner? I'm not talking about the food, but what kind of conversations should we encourage people to have, and how should they enter those conversations where they're not being antagonistic, but not also wasting an opportunity to have some family discussion about some substantive stuff?
Yeah, I think what we know is that there is not a shortage of political, social issues to engage, especially when we think about the current cultural crisis and political situation that we're facing on so many different levels. Because we often think about what is happening in D.C., what is happening with the president, but there's so many cultural phenomena. Teenage suicide rates are at an all-time high. Young people being addicted and caught up in social media, dealing with sleep deprivation, attention deprivation, you call the roll. But I think in the midst of this political and social climate, and it sounds trite and kind of overworked, but I think when people gather, whether it's at NAM
FCBC at the table, I think there ought to be a spirit and air of gratitude because these times are difficult. And in these difficult times, it's so easy for people to lose hope and give up and get bitter and disengaged and disillusioned. I think it's important to remember that for those of us who are alive, being grateful to just be alive, being grateful to have places to fellowship, being grateful to have places where we can share and eat and break bread together, no matter where it is something to be grateful for. There are a whole lot of people who will be struggling on this week and have been struggling for quite some time. But it has to be a space where you kind of rekindle the flames of hope and remember gratitude for being here. Gratitude to me is the birthplace of joy. The more grateful you are, the more joy arises. And joy is something I've learned that you got to choose every day to maintain a level of joy. So I think, Rev, in this day, it's easy to get caught up in what is negative. I think we got to start talking about what is positive right now.
And I couldn't agree with you more, Dr. Walron. I think there are many individuals of varying age groups who are limping toward Thanksgiving this year, whether it's because of the social political climate, whether it's because they have lost loved ones over this last year, whether it's the fact that they don't have as much in the cupboard this year as they did last year. I would say that it's always been said that you should not discuss religion or politics at the dinner table, but black and marginalized people don't have that privilege to not have that conversation at the dinner table. I would say if you're gathering family, if you're going to someone's table other than yours, and you may not know what to say, ensure that you create a safe space for individuals to speak, for individuals to share, perhaps what they've been going through, what they've been experiencing, what they're grateful for, what their fears can be between now and the end of the year. I think if anything, we owe each other a safe space to grow, a safe space to thrive, and a safe space to not only encounter a good meal together and good fellowship together, but a safe space to talk through what we've had to deal with and deal through over the last year.
Yeah, I also think we ought to always remember those that are not with us on Thanksgiving, those that have passed on. And sometimes, Dr. Walron Rembert, I use as a jump-off point talking to my daughters who help serve hot meals at Nan on Thanksgiving, is that I wish my mother was here. And I wish because we had Thanksgiving done even when she was on welfare, but she found a way. I wish she could see us serving people. I wish James Brown, who was like a father to me, Godfather Soul, who used to give away turkeys. That's where I got it from over Thanksgiving. I wish he was here. And I'd raise that not to just be sorrowful, but to say they would expect us to do something like this. And we should live up to their memory, otherwise they wasted their time on us. And then bring that gradually into talking about the politics of today. Whatever you do, are you doing it based on redeeming and in many ways making of value the sacrifices made? So when you hear Dr. Walron and I questioning even the Trump meeting, some people live in the daily, what's the daily news today? What's online today? But some of us look at the sweep of history. Did we go from fighting for even having a person of color as mayor in Dave Dinkins, the first one, 1989, before we got one. Then we got another one with Eric Adams, and that, for other reasons, kind of imploded. We have got to realize people paid prices to put people in these seats. And we should not let anybody cheapen the sacrifices that was made. And Dr. Walron, you and I spent hours talking about people like Adam Clayton Powell and all these people suffered for a Zoran to happen. It is unthinkable just a few years ago for a Muslim socialist to be the mayor of New York. That didn't just happen.
Right.
That didn't just happen. And if you are able to benefit from something, you must be accountable to that.
Yeah, well, you said it, Rev. A lot of sacrifice have been made to have someone in a position like him to get there.
And I don't know if you spoke about it already, Rev. Maybe you did yesterday. I didn't listen yesterday. But when you think about people who sacrifice, let's not forget someone who passed, H. Rap Brown.
Yeah, we did.
Who
Yeah.
passed away.
Yeah.
I'm sure. And I mean, you talk about sacrifice.
One of
you
the
know,
fathers
someone
of Black Power movement, H. Rap Brown.
Absolutely.
And you right. Go ahead.
And passed away in prison. I mean, you talk about sacrifice. You talk about giving his life for a cause. That's a prime example, you know, of the people who had to give themselves and lost their freedom to create spaces for people to be able to experience freedom. I mean, that's it. Right?
And we lost Viola Ford Fletcher.
That's right.
One of the original Tulsa massacre victims who survived, one of the last of the survivors. We had her at the House of Justice. Think of what she saw. And she talked about that terror that day she came to the House of Justice. People that survived the Tulsa massacre and went through all of this hoping we'd be in a better position, and not in a better position for our careers and our resume, but hoping like Rap Brown, that if they put their foot in the door and cracked it, that we'd open the door and walk through with some dignity rather than walk through just happy to be in a room, not happy to go in there and change what's going on in the room and change it on behalf of the people that pushed you through. And it just incenses me for people to get away with such insensitivity. And that's what I'm going to be dealing with on Thanksgiving. Let me thank Reverend Dr. Michael A. Walron. Thank you for sitting in here at the office, Reverend Dr. Malcolm Bird. Let me thank all of you that called in, listened in, you that called in and didn't get through, but hung in there anyhow. Remember, whatever you do, wherever you go, however you feel, tell somebody, tell anybody, tell everybody. Reverend Al told you personally, keep it real. Keep it real. Whatever you do, keep it real. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Keep it real.